Leading off for Hillsboro, number 1, Parks.
All right, welcome to the stream today. I'm Cody Eastis with Eastis Media as your Pratt High Greenbacks are set to take on the Hillsboro Trojans here at Smoky Ford Field at Green Sports Complex. On the mound for the Greenbacks is Jaden Meese. Comes into this game with a 4-2 record, ERA of 0.903, a great season to this point so far for Jaden. Clearly our ace at this point, had a good showing last week against Heston. And Parks at the plate for the Trojans. And Meese off to a good start as he starts off with an 0-2 count on Parks. Boy, if you didn't make it to that Heston game last week, that was one of the more intense ball games that I've seen here at Smoky Ford Field. As Pratt ended up splitting with them 1-1, 2-0 that first game, and then a barn burner, went down to 11 innings into that second game. And we'll recap that a little bit in between some breaks here in the inning break, but great performances by the Greenbacks. Dawson Everett going 8 innings in that second game as a relief pitcher. And Jaden Meese with his first strikeout of the game on 4 pitches there will bring up number 2, Bolt, the shortstop for the Trojans. And again, Meese finding the outside corner there. Starts the count off 0-1. And that ball just misses inside for ball 1. Meese high and outside. Try to get Bolt to bite on that one, and he doesn't for ball 2. This is senior night for the Greenbacks. We've got 2 seniors out for baseball this year, Justice Tatro, Dawson Everett. So I'm sure there will be some type of display throughout the game in between games honoring them. As that one's fouled off into foul territory. I was made aware that I was saying out of bounds last week in the softball game, and someone said there's no out of bounds in baseball. It's foul territory or out of play. So, notable correction. We'll add that to the bag as that one's a chopper back up to Meese and the easy out over at first base.
At the plate now is number 13, Hazlitt.
That'll bring up the third baseman, Hazlitt, for the Trojans. As Meese looks to try to go 1-2-3 in this top half of the first inning. And a deep ball to center field. Kyler Kraft's going to go back for it, not able to get under it. And Hazlitt's going to be in there for the stand-up double. First sign of life for the Trojans here, as he's able to get something going there deep into center field. Well hit ball.
Up next will be number 21, France.
That'll bring up the catcher, France. Now with the runner on second base, we'll see Meese work out of the stretch here. And that ball misses high and inside for ball 1. See how much attention Meese pays to Hazlitt on second base there, if he just worries about the batter. 2 outs here in this inning. That one, a well-hit ball right to Creston Poor for the 3rd out of the inning. That'll do it for the Greenbacks as they get out of that with only 1 hit on the deep fly ball. We'll recap a little bit of that Heston doubleheader here that we had. Bring that up here. This is the first game that we're showing here, so pretty tight game. And Heston had some aces. They had some of the best 3 arms that I've seen in high school baseball. Not a lot of scoring as it was a pitching duel, especially that first game between Meese and Shields, I believe, for Heston. Scoreless all the way through the 5th inning, and then Heston able to tack on a run in the 6th, a run in the 7th. And Greenbacks 5 hits total in the game by both teams. So again, a pitcher's duel as both of those pitchers were really going at it. Greenbacks just not able to do anything with their 2 hits, 5 errors on the day for that game, as you can see, and made it tough for the Greenbacks to overcome that lead. Going on to the second game here, this was the one that was, well, it was a fun one. Second game, here's the box scores for that second game as it went 11 innings. Greenbacks had to tie it up there in the 8th inning as Heston put up 1 in the top of the 8th. Greenbacks able to match them, move it to extra innings into the 9th, into the 10th, and the Greenbacks, in a dramatic fashion, you don't hear it very often, but a dramatic walk-off, beamed batter to win the ball game. Greenbacks had runners on second and third. Heston elected to walk. I believe it was Meese, put him on first and fill up the bases to get the forced play at any base. And next batter came up, took one on the elbow, and that scored the runner from third. So Greenbacks able to split with Heston, who, again, if you weren't here to see that game, they had some of the best 3 arms that you're going to see in high school baseball. When you get to tournament play, well, they're going to be tough to beat. So Greenbacks will get a chance here, put some runs on the board as they come up here in the bottom of the first inning. Max Uni is going to be leading things off for the Greenbacks. Max having a good year as he comes in with a .419 batting average, 26 hits on the season. See if he can get things going for the Greenbacks here. As Max Uni comes to the plate. And that ball high for ball 1. And a hard hit ball to the shortstop. Can he make a play on it as Max is going to be thrown out at first there for the 6-3 out to start things off in the bottom half of this inning for the Trojans. Nice play there by, who's that shortstop? Bolt, as we saw him, their number 2 hitter. Man, for the Greenbacks, that'll bring up senior Dawson Everett. That pitch in there for a ball. And a swinging strike 1 for Dawson Everett. Even things up at 1-1. That ball low and outside for ball 2. Everett tried to get things going here for the Greenbacks. He's coming in with a .283 batting average. He's got 46 at-bats this season, 56 plate appearances. And that ball's going to be chopped down the third baseline, going to get by the third baseman. And Everett will be in there at first safely for the first base runner for the Greenbacks in this bottom half of the first inning.
Next up, number 5, Jaden Meese.
And that'll bring up Jaden Meese to the plate, number 5 on the mound for the Greenbacks this evening. And he'll take ball 1 low. As Everett gets his lead over there on first base, see how aggressive he's going to be. And that pitch inside for ball 2 on Everett. And Everett attempts second base there, and he'll be in there safely for the stolen base. Ball a bit bobbled there. But the Greenbacks will take that as that puts a runner in scoring position. Everett with a good jump on that pitch, and that ball was in there for a strike on Meese. So the count will go 2-1 on Meese here with 1 out for the Greenbacks. And Meese have to get out of the way a little bit on that one as ball 3 comes inside. A short chopper. That's going to be ruled a foul. Must have came off of Meese's foot there. Meese caught a break there. If that had been a fair ball, pretty routine play there for Hillsboro. So that'll fill up the count at 3-2. And that one does hit him. Boy, on that one, he's got 3 balls on him, so he doesn't have to be tough and stand there and take it. He could have hopped out of the way and still drawn the base. But I like the toughness shown by Meese there. So he elects to take it in the foot. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter for the Greenbacks, first baseman, number 12, Justice Tatro, as he comes into this game as one of the Greenbacks' better hitters with a .426 batting average. And that first pitch outside for ball 1. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Greenbacks got runners on first and second base. Tatro at the plate trying to move him around. And a high fly ball might be deep enough for the sacrifice. And the play is made out there in left field. Not deep enough for either runner to tag, as Adelot out there in left was able to bring that in, hold the runners at first and second base. So Barrett Bolin comes to the plate for the Greenbacks. Now with, again, runners in at first and second, scoring position, as Barrett will see if he can move them around. Looks like we're going to have a pinch runner come in for Meese, number 28. Who do we got there, Lori? Andy Orozco coming in to run for Meese with 2 outs there. That pitch, first pitch high for ball 1, as Barrett comes into this game with the best batting average for the Greenbacks at .444 on the season. And a hard hit ball right up the middle. Not going to be able to move any base runners, though, as Parks is able to just put his glove out, and that one comes right to him. So the Greenbacks not able to capitalize on getting a couple base runners on early. That's going to take us to the top of the second. As we come back after this break, you're listening to Greenback Sports, brought to you by Eastus Media. And welcome back here to Greenback Sports, brought to you by Eastus Media. We're here at Smoky Ford Field at the beautiful Green Sports Complex in Pratt, Kansas, as your Greenbacks head into the top half of the second inning. No runs by either team, tied up here 0-0. Again, Jaden Meese on the mound, starting things off well for the Greenbacks, only giving up 1 hit that first inning on the deep fly ball to center field. But other than that, Meese has been throwing well today, as he has been all season. And that pitch misses for ball 1. First one was in there for a strike, so that'll bring the count even at 1-1 as Collins, the center fielder, steps to the plate for the Hillsboro Trojans. High and outside, but Collins is going to swing on that. Foul tip it back out of play as Meese gets ahead in the count 1-2. Again, senior night here for the Greenbacks, so looking to pick up a couple wins for those two seniors that the Greenbacks have. Is a swinging miss there for Collins for the first out of the inning.
Number 7, Wharton.
And that'll bring up number 7, Wharton, the DH for the Trojans. So one out here in the top of the second inning. Meese typically makes quick work of his innings. And again there, ahead in the count, swinging strike one. And strike two for Meese. Oh, and the home plate umpire checks down to first to see if he went on that check swing, but he did not go, so that'll be a high pitch in there for ball one. That one, a chopper to Uni at short. It takes it on the high hop and has plenty of time to make the play to Tatro over there at first base. Good play there by Max Uni to pick up the second out of the inning for the Greenbacks.
At the plate is number 8, Willis Dirks.
That'll bring number 8, second baseman Willis Dix up to the plate for the Trojans. As Meese misses outside for ball one. That's something you'll see the Greenbacks do. They look to the dugout, they wear that wristband, get their pitch, kind of like a quarterback does in football. See what they want to throw. I read it off the wrist and let her fly. That one misses for ball two. Catches the outside corner there and gets Willis Dix to swing on that one for strike two. And Meese evens the count up at 2-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. That's a lot of twos. And that one right back up to Meese off his ankle, but able to recover and make the play for the third out of the inning. Hopefully that just caught the bottom of the shoe there, and Meese is all right. But the Greenbacks, again, no runners on base that inning as Meese gets out of it easily, and they'll move into the bottom of the second inning, tied 0-0 here at Smoky Ford Field. You're listening to Greenback Sports on Eastus Media.
You're listening to Greenback Sports, brought to you by Eastus Media.
Welcome back here to Smoky Ford Field at Green Sports Complex. As you're watching Greenback baseball, Creston Poor to the plate for the Greenbacks. On the season, Creston's batting 382 coming into this game. And he turns on that one, but just a little too much. That's going to be a long foul ball past the batting cages there west of the left field fences. wait just a little bit on that, and Creston able to put that in play. That pitch in there for ball 2. Take the count 2-1 against Creston. And that's going to be a chopper to the third baseman. And the throw to first will be the first out of the inning as Creston Poor grounds out to third.
Tay Wilson.
And that'll bring up the DH for the Greenbacks, Tay Wilson, with one out here in the bottom of the second as he tries to lay down the bunt and does so successfully. A perfect bunt. When from a left-hander, that is nearly impossible to defend when they lay it down as well as Tay did there. So a good job by Tay laying that bunt down to get a base runner for the Greenbacks here. See if Chaz Tiefetiller coming to the plate can do anything with Wilson over there on first base. And that pitch misses outside for ball 1. Again, Wilson over on first base after that beautiful bunt. Just a couple bounces, rolls right down the third base line. Tough play for the third baseman. And Wilson goes on that one. What looks like a hit and run. Wilson's going to be in safely at second. And Tiefetiller advances the runner. And Coach Ricky wants an opinion on that as he's saying his foot was pulled. He's going to see if the umpires will get together and confer on that. I couldn't tell from our view here. Right now, Tiefetiller stays on first base, and the umpires are going to rule him safe there on the hit and run to advance Wilson to second. Tiefetiller at first now. And that'll bring up number 21, Noah Riley, the left fielder for the Greenbacks. So runners on first and second here for Riley. One out. Pitch outside. Now you got to be careful as the pitcher. The pass ball is going to move Wilson over there at second into even better scoring position if he can take third base. That pitch in there for ball 2. That pitch in there for strike 1. Park steps off the mound there, try to make Tay Wilson stay honest over there at second base. Not wanting to give up anything easy on the base path. And a swinging strike 2 for Noah Riley. Evens the count up 2-2. One out here for the Greenbacks. Bottom of the second. And a fly ball deep to a shallow center field, I should say. And the catch made out there by Collins made it look a little tougher than what I thought it was going to be. But either way, runner's not able to advance there as that fly ball not deep enough for Wilson to get a good tag there at second base. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. The Greenbacks would like to bring a couple of those runners in and be the first to score here as they're back at the top of the lineup here with Max Uni. That pitch is going to catch the outside corner for strike 1. And Wilson's going to attempt third there. And it's past the third baseman. Wilson's going to, he's going to hold there. I thought Coach Hill was going to give him the signal to go ahead and take it. Wilson will hold at third base on the stolen base. And both runners will advance as T. Tiller moves to second, Wilson to third. And now Uni with runners at second and third base. That pitch outside for ball 2. Again, high and outside. Uni should see a good ball to hit here with a 3-1 count if Parks will give it to him. And he does. That ball should be deep enough. 2 outs. It's not going to matter on the tag, but it's going to get past the left fielder and score both runners. And Uni's going to try for third as he's in there for the stand-up triple. So Max Uni with the deep fly ball to left field over Adelot's head, not able to make a play on it. And with 2 outs running, 2 outs on the board, all the runners are running on contact, so able to score from second and third base are Tifa Tiller and Wilson, and Uni never slowed down. I thought he was going to go for the in the Parker there. So back to the plate for his second at bat of this ball game, Dawson Everett, one of the 2 seniors we mentioned earlier. And that ball hit to the short baseman, a 2-hopper, and that'll do it for the Greenbacks here in the bottom of the second, but not before they can put up 2 runs and take the lead in this ball game as they lead at 2-0 heading in to the top of the third inning. We'll be back here on Eastus Media. This is Greenback Sports.
You're listening to Greenback Sports, brought to you by Eastus Media.
Welcome back to Smoky Ford Field here at Green Sports Complex. I'm Cody Eastus with Eastus Media, and you're watching Greenback Baseball here as the Greenbacks pick up 2 runs in that bottom half of the second inning to take the lead 3-2 here against the Hillsboro Trojans. At the plate for Hillsboro is their first baseman, Duell, his first time at the plate this evening. And first pitch in there for strike 1 as Jaden Meese continues to have an efficient outing on the mound, which we've seen all season from him to this point. That pitch down for ball 1. Takes the count 1-2 for Meese. And that one turned on a deep ball, but that is going to be out of play. Noah Riley out there in left field made an attempt at it, but could see pretty clearly on that ball was heading for foul territory. And that one swung on and missed for out number 1 at the top of the 3rd inning here.
Batting now, number 23, Adelot.
That'll bring up the left fielder for the Trojans, number 23, Adelot. And the swinging strike 1 to start the count for him. And that one, chopper, not a chopper, but kind of off the end of the bat there, right to Justice Tatro at first base. I'd call it a line drive, but not quite the force of a line drive. Just kind of a right off the end of the bat and right into Tatro's glove. Is he able to make the easy out for out number 2? Back to the top of the lineup for the Trojans as the pitcher Parks comes to the plate. And that one, a high fastball, misses up. That pitch low and inside from Meese for ball 2. Really the first time today we've seen him behind in the count, 2-0.
No, that's not how she says it, but she has all those details.
And that one fouled back out of play for strike 1 at the at-bat. A good pitch on the outside half of the plate. Parks takes that one for strike 2. And Meese able to even things back up here at 2-2. One more gets him out of the inning. And a high outside pitch, but swung on for strike 3 as Meese able to make another efficient inning as no runners reach. And the Greenbacks will be coming up here in the bottom of the 3rd as we come back here at Green Sports Complex, Smoky Field. You're listening to Greenback Baseball.
You're listening to Greenback Sports, brought to you by Eastus Media.
All right, welcome back here to Green Sports Complex. We're here at Smoky Ford Field as Jaden Meese, the pitcher for the Greenbacks, set to lead things off this inning in the bottom of the 3rd. First pitch in there for a strike. And that one, a well-hit ball to right center field, and it's going to get down. Meese will have the easy first base. But a good play out there in center field by Collins to get that ball in quick and hold Meese at first.
12, Justice Tatro.
Yeah, so, Lori was asking here in the booth about some of those Major League Baseball changes, and one of them is that they only get 2 attempts for a pickoff at first base. The 3rd one, they have to get him out. They can go over there a 3rd time, but if it doesn't result in an out, then it's an automatic runner gets to take second base. So a little bit of strategy involved now. I say that with about 90% confidence that I think that is the new rule. Yeah, some of those new rules I like changes. It's some of those old baseball fans that have a tough time with trying to speed things up and that sort of thing. That one, a pop fly, going to come in the middle of the field there. Shortstop and second baseman, and shortstop calls him off there for out number 1 of the innings as Justice Tatro flies out. Jaden Meese going to hold there at first base, and that'll bring up Barrett Bolin to the plate for the Greenbacks. And Meese over there on first steals second base. I wondered where that music was coming from.
I have no idea where that music's coming from. His Spotify is paused, and so is this.
Getting some background music from somewhere there. So Meese over there to second base for the Greenbacks. In scoring position for Barrett Bolin, who we've seen with his .444 batting average this season for the Greenbacks, leading the way. See what count we get from the umpire here. And that one, outside wild pitch. Meese is going to be able to advance to third safely. And now with the runner in scoring position at third, Barrett Bolin trying to drive him in here. And Barrett draws the walk there on ball 4, as that'll bring up Creston Poor, the second baseman for the Greenbacks, with runners at the corner.
Creston Poor.
Again, 1 out in the inning for the Greenbacks on the fly ball, that infield fly by Tatro. Runners at the corners with Bolin and Meese, as the freshman Creston Poor looks to add on to this 2-0 lead by the Greenbacks. And the hard hit ball to left field there. Meese will have time to tag on that. And Bolin will get back to first base safely as he was going halfway. But a good sac fly there by Creston Poor to score another run for the Greenbacks and stretch that lead to 3-0 here in the bottom half of the third inning. So Bolin still over there at first base. Tay Wilson at the plate for the Greenbacks. And Barrett will get back there after a big lead. Tay Wilson on the season with a .379 batting average on 22 hits. And that pitch outside for ball 2. And Bolin's going to take second. Catcher having a little bit of trouble getting the ball out of his glove. Barrett will be in there safely. Even if that ball would have been caught cleanly, the throw was off the mark and ended up in center field. So the runner advances to second base. Tay Wilson looking at a 2-1 count here. And that one, Tay's got a duck to get out of the way. A little easier to take one on the shoulder or the hip than it is in the head. 3-1 count here on Wilson. And that pitch inside, but going to be called a strike. So now Wilson looking at a full count here with 2 outs. And a high fly ball out of our sight line here. I'm not sure where that's coming down at. First baseman tries to make a play out on it, but not able to. So Wilson going to get new life at the plate here. And you could see Barrett running on contact, really even on the swing with a full count, 2 outs. Anything in the outfield that hits the ground, Bolin should be scoring on. And that one, a hard hit ball right between first and second. A diving attempt there by Willis Dix at second base, but not able to knock it down. And like I said, Bolin running on contact, able to score even on the shallow infield hit, having that full count, 2 out situation. So Wilson with the RBI single. And the Greenbacks lead 4-0 as Chaz Tiefetiller comes to the plate. Wilson's going to take second base, and a swinging. It's going to be a long fly ball there by Tiefetiller. As Adelot out there in left field is able to come underneath that and into the inning for the Greenbacks, but they do get 2 runs to tack on 2 to that second inning total. So the Greenbacks lead at 4-0 here after 3 complete innings at Smoky Ford Field. We'll be back here on Eastus Media.
You're listening to Greenback Sports, brought to you by Eastus Media.
Welcome back here to Smoky Ford Field at Green Sports Complex. I'm Cody Eastus. You're watching Greenback Baseball as the Greenbacks lead at 4-0 to start things off here in the top of the 4th inning against the Hillsboro Trojans as their shortstop Bolt comes to the plate. See if he can get a spark going for the Trojans. But against Jade Meese, the Greenbacks ace, that may be tough to do. As that pitch in there outside for strike 1. 1-1 the count. And an off-speed pitch there by Jaden Meese. A nice breaking ball for strike 2. Meese doing a good job again of staying ahead in that count. And that one, a low fastball for strike 3.
And that will be number 13, Hazlitt.
So Meese with the strikeout for the first out of the inning will bring up the third baseman, Hazlitt. And that pitch bounces in there for ball 1. Little trip to the mound there from Tiefetiller. As Meese only 42 pitches through this point for the Greenbacks compared to 53 for Parks from Hillsboro. And that pitch in there for strike 1. Again, Meese working both sides of the plate nicely as that first pitch outside, that one inside really keeps the batters guessing as to what to look for. And with the velocity that Meese is able to have, there's a reason he's – and that one, boy, a stretching swing there as Haslett just reaches for something.
Next up, number 21, France.
And Meese able to get another strikeout for out number 2 of the inning. That'll bring up the catcher, France, for the Trojans. With 2 outs here in the top of the 4th, still scoreless. Greenbacks lead at 4-0. And that pitch in there for strike 1. But that first pitch by Meese might be the best one to swing at if you're the Hillsboro Trojans. He does not start his at-bats behind in the count very often. And again, a chopper there to Creston Poor at first. Brings Tatro off the bag, though. Not able to make the play. There's a little bit of confusion. That ball hit right in the gap. Enough to where Creston and Tatro both make an attempt at it. And first base was vacant there without Meese not able to get over there and take the throw. Tatro comes down a little awkwardly on that play. But he looks like he's all right. But that's going to be the first base run of the inning for the Trojans. As France is able to get over, I don't know that you'd rule that an error. How would you score that? Kind of that ball right in the gap. I don't know that you'd score that as an error. It's just a well-placed ball. So with runner on first base, brings Collins, the center fielder, to the plate for the Trojans. And that one in there for strike 2. Meese trying to get out of this inning with the runner on first base. And he does so with a swinging third strike. So Meese, after allowing France to get to first on the ball hitting the gap, able to get out of it. Hillsboro with their second stranded runner of the game, not able to score any runs. Score remains 4-0 at this point. You're watching Greenback Baseball here on Eastus Media. We'll be back. All right, welcome back here to Greenback Baseball at Smoky Ford Field on a beautiful Friday afternoon. A little rain overnight. Sun's shining. No wind, which is unusual for Kansas this time of the year. But it makes for great baseball weather. A few changes there in the field for Hillsboro as what was the pitcher, Parks, comes in as the catcher. Let's see, the catcher there, France, is going to move out to center field. And the center fielder, Collins, will come in to pitch. So here in the 4th inning, as Collins comes in for relief, at bat for the Greenbacks is Noah Riley. And a hard swinging strike there by Noah for strike 2 at this at bat. Strike 1, I'm sorry. Evens it up 1-1. And that pitch low and outside. Noah doesn't chase it for ball 2. So the Greenbacks lead it here 4-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. And a chopper out of play there down the third base line. That'll even it up 2-2 to Riley. Up the middle there, brings the shortstop closer to second base. Has to make the throw on the run, but in time for the first out of the inning.
Next up is number 24, Max Uni.
At bat for the Greenbacks. Back to the top of the lineup, Max Uni. And that pitch in there for strike 1. And the dirt gets away from the catcher there. Parks for ball 1. Misses inside for ball 2. And again, misses low and outside. Max looking at a 3-1 count. Second 3-1 count he's seen, to my knowledge, this game. Able to do something with it last time. And he takes strike 2. So full count here for Uni in the bottom of the 4th inning. Greenbacks lead it 4-0. And he'll draw the walk. So Uni will head down to first base. That'll bring up Dawson Everett, the right fielder. You see him on the mound a lot for the Greenbacks. Between him, Barrett Bolin, Jaden Meese, kind of the three-headed monster of the pitching staff. Like I said again, still impressed with that performance last Friday night in that Heston doubleheader. Dawson coming in and throwing 8 innings of relief in an 11-inning game. And Uni's going to take second. No attempt from the catcher there, so Uni will be in their stand-up stolen base. And Everett has to get out of the way of that one, heading inside for his elbow. Count moves to 2-0. Got it switched over there. Uni on second base. And a bit of a floater there up high. Everett looking at a 3-0 count. And Collins steps off the mound there to check Uni at second base. And that pitch in the dirt for 4 straight balls to Dawson Everett as he draws the walk. Puts runners at first and second for the Greenbacks, and that will bring up Jaden Meese, the pitcher.
Now number 5, Jaden Meese.
And Collins going to go out to the mound and have a talk with his pitcher. I'm sorry, Parks. Parks now catching, was pitching previously. So he's going to go out and have a talk with Collins, see if he can settle him down a little bit.
I'm Yeah.
The runners at first and second base, Uni and Everett, Meese at the plate. And that pitch misses inside, and aggressive base running by Uni. He's going to try to come around all the way from second and score, and he does. Great hustle play there by Max Uni as he turned third base there with his head up and eyes looking towards home plate, and that ball was still being chased down by Parks. So the Greenbacks score a run on the pass ball as Uni's able to advance 2 bases, and Everett moves to third. That pitch on the outside for ball 2. So Collins struggling a little bit there on the mound as he's came in for relief here in this top of the 5th inning. Bottom of the 5th inning, third time's a charm. Bottom of the 4th? I still didn't get it. Still didn't get it. I was looking at the scoreboard there. I was looking at the empty boxes. Yeah, we'll get it. Yeah, there is no we, I guess, up here, Lori. I'm not going to throw you under the bus. And again, a 4-pitch walk there as Meese draws the walk. Runners at the corners now for the Greenbacks with Everett at third, Meese at first, and Justice Tatro, again, one of the seniors for this Greenback baseball team, comes to the plate as their cleanup hitter, batting .426 on the season. So he'd like to bring one, if not both of those runners in. Greenbacks lead at 5-0. And Meese will take the base at second. No play as the ball's in the dirt. You don't make that play probably anyway with a runner on third. So runners on second and third here for Tatro at the plate. Collins still trying to find his way on the mound there. And that pitch is high and outside for ball 2. Everett down at third base. And that pitch misses for ball 3. And that pitch behind Tatro as he draws the walk on 4 straight pitches.
Next up, number 20, Barrett.
So that will load the bases for number 20, Barrett Bolin, as he comes to the plate. And that's going to draw a visit from the mound. So Greenbacks with the bases loaded. Barrett Bolin coming to the plate for the Greenbacks. The scenario you want to have if you're a baseball player. You've got bases loaded, a pitcher that hasn't really found his groove out there yet, throwing a strike, so you know he's going to be trying to hit that zone. You're likely to get something good. And with 1 out, you can swing away here with a 5-0 lead. That's exactly what I expect Barrett Bolin to do here. And that pitch low for ball 1 on Bolin. One 0 count here. Barrett Bolin at the plate for the Greenbacks. Bases loaded. And the pickoff attempt to third, and that's what you risk when you do that. The wild throw will score Everett as he comes home on the wild throw to third base by Collins. That's one of those risk versus reward situations. Tough to focus on the batter when you got bases loaded after 3 straight walks, but if you don't hit that throw to third base, it just digs you a deeper hole. So that frees up third base. Runners on first and second. Meese taking third base with it open now. The called strike, and Meese will be in there safely as both runners advance. Tatro and Meese now move from first to second and third. And Bolin still looking to bring both those runners in. That one high and inside. Barrett has to get out of the way. Moves the count to 2-1. That pitch in the dirt, but a good play by Parks there to keep the ball in front of him and allowing another run to come in on a pass ball. Three and 1 the count here on Bolin. And that pitch in the dirt for ball 4, so that'll load things up again as Barrett takes the vacant first base.
Now batting number 1, Preston.
And that'll bring up the freshman Creston Poor for the Greenbacks. And another mound visit by the Hillsboro head coach. That'll result in a pitching change, as that's his second of the mound. So we'll take a break here at Green Sports while they make a swap out there. It looks like Collins will go to left field, and Adelot will come in to pitch. And yes, Collins will head back out there to left. Adelot will get his warm-ups here, and we'll be back in a bit with Eastus Media here at Green Sports Complex.
You're listening to Greenback Sports, brought to you by Eastus Media.
All right, we're back here at Green Sports Complex at Smoky Ford Field as a pitching change for Hillsboro comes in a tough relief spot with bases loaded, one out here in the bottom of the fourth inning, trailing 6-0 with freshman Creston Poor at the plate for the Greenbacks. Creston, again, I said as a freshman, has played all 15 games for the Greenbacks with a .382 batting average. Out there at second base for the Greenbacks. See him on the mound a little bit. So good innings from the freshman as he puts that one up the middle, a chance for a double play ball, but a little bit of hesitation, and still in times able to make the play. So the unassisted double play there by Bolt at shortstop will end the inning for the Greenbacks, but they're able to put up, again, 2 runs as they've done in the second, the third, and the fourth inning. And that'll move it to 6-0 here as we head into the top of the 5th inning. We'll be back here from Green Sports Complex here on Eastus Media.
You're listening to Greenback Sports, brought to you by Eastus Media.
Welcome back to Greenback Baseball here on Eastus Media. As the Greenbacks lead things 6-0 heading into the top of the fifth inning. Jaden Meese still on the mound for the Greenbacks. Thrown 50 pitches to this point, but 7 strikeouts. Again, efficient work by Meese as he faces Wharton, the DH, to start things off here in the top of the fifth inning. And starts off with a swinging strike there for the 0-1 count. That one fouled back out of play. Meese will be ahead in the count, 0-2. And a looking third strike as Wharton takes that one for the first out of the inning.
Next up, number 8.
That will bring up number 8, Wilson Dix, the second baseman for the Trojans. Correction, I'm being told that it's Wilson Dirks. Willis Dirks. Willis Dirks. Well, the coach's handwriting was hard to read. That's what I was going with. And during that little comedy segment there, the chopper by Willis Dirks to second base for the second out of the inning. And that will bring up Duell, the first baseman.
Next up, number 30, Duell.
And that pitch misses inside for ball one. We'll see while we've got Mr. Swank up here in the booth if we get an update on softball. Have you got an update on that game over there at all, David? 6-1 Greenbacks in the first game. So the Greenbacks, Lady Greenbacks, lead at 6-1 over there in the bottom of the fifth. So similar to our ball game over here, Greenbacks lead this one 6-0. With Meese still on the mound for the Greenbacks. And fouled back into the net for strike one. And strike two. Meese with a good mix-up there of off-speed, velocity. Tough guessing game if you're the batter. We've seen that today. That pitch inside just misses for ball three. Count goes full at 3-2. And a good high pitch, tough to lay off of As do well the first baseman. Swinging strike for the third out of the inning, so the Greenbacks will lead things off here in the bottom of the fifth. Greenbacks leading at 6-0. You're watching Greenback Sports on Eastus Media. We'll be back.
Number 14, Tay Wilson.
All right, welcome back here to Smoky Ford Field at the Green Sports Complex, where your Greenbacks lead things 6-0 in the bottom of the fifth inning against the Hillsboro Trojans. Tay Wilson at the plate to lead things off for the Greenbacks. Tay coming into this ball game with a .379 batting average, playing DH today as he's got a little bit of arm trouble that he's been battling through this season. And a chopper to the first base, going to draw the first baseman off the bag enough. Should be a tough play, and it is, as he's not able to make a play on the pitcher covering first there. So again, Tay reaching first base safely. We saw a similar hit in the second inning from him, able to get safely to first on a chopper to that side as well. That'll bring up Chaz Tiefetiller for the Greenbacks, the catcher, that number 8 hole hitter. And Wilson jumps early, so he's going to be in a rundown over there unless the middle official's going to signal a balk, as Tay with that early jump put a little panic into the pitcher. Adelot not able to get off the mound safely and results in the balk, what I thought was going to end up in a rundown. So Wilson advances to second base on the confusion there, and the balk on the mound. And he tries to get him again, but Wilson back safely. Wilson a bit in the head of Adelot on the mound there. And Wilson again attempts third base, but Tiefetiller swinging on what might have been a hit and run there from Coach Ron Hill and the Greenbacks. So Wilson will head back to second base on the foul ball. And again, a good lead for Wilson back there at second base. Adelot's going to have to step off the mound. A lot of back and forth between those two. And again, Adelot steps off the mound and throws down to second, but Wilson plenty of time. And a pitch high and inside there. With all that attention, Wilson's drawn at second base with his second baseman for the Trojans not able to play in the gap where you'd normally see him. So a lot of room open on that right side for Tiefetiller here if he's able to put the bat on the ball. And again, the throw down to second base as Wilson continues to stay in the head of Adelot. High and outside for ball 2. And no attempt by Wilson down there to take third. And this time Wilson goes. Tifa Tiller swinging on a high fly ball to left field, but that's going to be out of play. I just wonder if those 2 times we've seen Wilson go and Tifa Tiller swinging, if those are signaled hit and runs, or just Wilson getting a good jump and Tifa Tiller seeing a good pitch. So Wilson back on second after the foul ball. And Tifa Tiller puts one into center field, but the play made by France out there in center. Wilson not able to advance. So Tifa Tiller with some good contact at bat, but out of play and right in the spot of France out there in center field. So for the first out of the inning, Tifa Tiller flies out, and that will bring up Noah Riley, the number 9 hole hitter for the Greenbacks. Wilson still down there at second base, and this time he gets a good jump and goes. No throw, and Wilson will be in there safely with the stolen base. Noah Riley now with an opportunity to bring him in. Think any fly ball in the grass would get Wilson in on the sack. And ball 2 to Riley. We'll see if Wilson's as aggressive with his leads there on third as him and Adelot kind of had a little back and forth there with Wilson on second base. That pitch inside for strike 1 on Riley. One out here. Bottom of the 5th inning. Greenbacks leading it 6-0. And Riley with the swinging foul ball out of play. Count goes 2-2. Wilson on third, 1 out. As the Greenbacks look to add on to this 6-0 lead. Scoreless in the first, but then able to put up 2 each inning after that. 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth. And Wilson thought about going on that pass ball, but Park's able to keep it in front of him well enough, not give Wilson a chance to get the stolen base here at home. Again, a pitch behind Riley. He's going to take first after he draws the walk. So runners on the corner as we get back to the top of the lineup here for Max Uni, as he's able to see runners on the corner with 1 out. Again, Wilson at third base, Riley down there at first. Riley likely to take second here with it open and a runner on third. And Riley goes. And the fake throw down by Parks. Wilson doesn't bite on it, so runners advance. Riley now at second, Wilson at third. And that pitch was in there for a ball, so a 1-0 count here for Max Uni as he's got 2 runners in scoring position. Wilson at third and Riley at second. And an attempt at the runner at second. Kind of unnecessary with the runner at third. He's not going to steal that base. That goes back to that risk-reward scenario. That pitch low and away for ball 2. If you're going to attempt a pickoff, you always want to go for the lead runner. I'm not Captain Obvious here, Lori. I just watch baseball. That pitch inside, ball 3. Now we'll see if Coach Ron Hill gives Max Uni the green light or if he wants him taken on a 3-0 count here with first base open. And that pitch in there for strike one. Max still with a hitter's count here, though, up 3-1. And that one, Max has to duck and get out of the way. He's going to draw the walk with first base open. Really no damage done to Adelhart there. But that will load the bases as senior Dawson Everett comes to the plate. The one out for the Greenbacks. Bases loaded. Dawson Everett at the plate. And that pitch in there for strike one. Everett with 3 extra base hits this season, 11 RBIs on that 283 batting average. That pitch in there fouled up high. Parks tries to make a play on it, but not able to as that gets out of play early. So Everett down early in the count, 0-2. As the Greenbacks, if they could score, if Everett could score, he would be the winning runner of this ballgame, as that would move it to 10-0 here in the 5th inning. And that time, not able to get away at all, as that's square in the back, right between the shoulder blades. Just remember, don't rub it. It only hurts worse if you rub it, Dawson. That's kind of the saying in baseball. At least it used to be. That's going to score a run, though.
Now number 5, Jaden Meese.
On the RBI hit by pitch. I'm not sure if that's a thing or not. And that'll bring up Jaden Meese to the plate as the umpire takes the ball back out to the mound, has a little talk with the pitcher, calm him down a little bit. So that advances all the runners. Wilson comes home to score on the hit by pitch, moves Riley to third, Uni to second, Everett on first base, and Jaden Meese at the plate for the Greenbacks. That pitch, a chopper, going to bounce foul, though. As soon as that ball hit, it was loaded with backspin and out of play. That'll be strike one on Meese. As you can hear the stands there. Use the barrel. That kind of came right off the top there. A lot of spin. Something clean here would score some runs, though, with one out. And he turns on that one, and that one's fouled out of play quickly as that has right over the roof of the dugout of the Hillsboro Trojans. So Meese down in the count, 0-2 now. That pitch outside misses for ball one. 1-2 the count on Meese. Oh, and that time looked pretty similar to the position of the last pitch, but going to give him that one, and that one's a tough one to take with 2 strikes on you. Meese goes down looking for the second out of the inning.
Number 12, Justice Tatro.
That'll bring up the cleanup hitter for the Greenbacks, Justice Tatro, number 12, your first baseman, as he tries to clear the bases. And a chopper to the shortstop. Uni's got to wait for it to get by him, and they go for the easy out at second. Close play, but the out is made, and that'll end things for the Greenbacks here, as they're only able to score 1 on the hit by pitch with the bases loaded. Brings in Tay Wilson. We scored 1 on, yep. Just a little double checking there with the scorekeepers here, but Greenbacks lead at 7-0 heading into the top of the 6th inning here at Smoky Ford Field. You're listening to Greenback Baseball on Eastus Media.
You're listening to Greenback Sports, brought to you by Eastus Media. listening to Greenback Sports, brought to you by Eastus Media.
Well, welcome back here to Smoky Ford Field at Green Sports Complex as your Greenbacks lead at 7-0 here in the top of the 6th inning with a pitching change for the Greenbacks as Jaden Meese is going to move over to first base after throwing a good 5 innings. 60 pitches for Meese is what he'll finish with, and it'll just be a switch there as Tatro will come in from first base to the mound for the Greenbacks, and Meese moves to first, so not much of a change up there on the defensive side of things for the Greenbacks. That ball fouled out of play down the right field line by number 23, Adelot, the pitcher for the Trojans. And that'll be his second strike of this at bat. Pitch low and outside for ball 1 for Tatro. And a swinging strike 3 as Adelot goes down for the first out of the inning.
Up next, number 1, Parks.
That'll take the Trojans back to the top of their lineup as the now catcher comes in. Parks started the game off pitching for Hillsboro and then moved to catching in the 3rd inning. And he will lead things off here back at the top of the lineup as a swinging foul ball out of play for strike 1. And that pitch inside. Ball 1 moves the count to 1-1. Tatro only with 6 2/3 innings on the season so far for the Greenbacks. Came in 3 games. Not a lot of action on the mound for Tatro. That's a chopper to Creston Poor at second base and able to make the underhand lob play for the second out of the inning. Good play there by the freshman Creston Poor. So Tatro with 2 quick outs here for the Greenbacks. And that pitch in there hard but high for ball 1. Tatro with 6 strikeouts, 7 walks on the season. And that pitch in there for ball 2. 2 outs, though, here in the top of the 6th inning. That pitch low and away, and a nice snag by Tifa Tiller for ball 3. And that pitch in there on the outside for strike 1 for Tatro. And misses low. So Bolt, the shortstop, will draw the walk for the first runner of the inning for the Trojans. I believe the 3rd runner all afternoon for the Trojans, as they have not had a lot of opportunities to get runs in. That'll bring up the 3rd baseman, Hazlitt. So a runner on first with 2 outs for the Greenbacks. And high and away for ball 1. That pitch looked like it had a chance there on the inside corner, but not going to be given to him. And ball 2 here now as Tatro tries to settle down on the mound with 2 outs. Runner on first. And Tatro's going to step off the mound and check that runner. And that pitch in there for a strike, for the first strike of this at bat. Takes the count 1-2, 2-1. And a hard hit ball to Creston Poor at second base. Going to have a chance for, only need 1 there, so no need to go for the double play. So the nice 5-6 there by
Tatro leaves the mound with 16.
Creston Poor to finish the inning as Tatro, 16 pitches that inning. Nice outing by Tatro. The Greenbacks will head into the bottom of the 6th inning with a 7-0 lead. See if they can tack on the 3 to end things or take it into the 7th. Quick update here before we head to break. We did have some kids, some other Greenbacks today competing at regional tennis, and Jack Bushnell is going to be going to state in singles, and Cade Hopkins and Angel Hernandez will be going to state in doubles. So congratulations to those 2 kids, and look forward to sending them off to state and see if they can bring home some hardware. So congrats to our men's tennis team. And we'll be back here for the bottom half of the 6th action when we come back. You're listening to Greenback Baseball on Eastus Media.
You're listening to Greenback Sports, brought to you by Eastus Media.
And welcome back here to Greenback Baseball at Smoky Ford Field. As Barrett Boland set to lead us off here in the bottom of the 6th inning, the Greenbacks lead it 7-0. 2 runs in the 2nd, 2 runs in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, and 1 in the 5th inning. Greenbacks have had some opportunities, leaving some runners on base in the last couple innings, but with a comfortable lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Count goes to 1-1 on Boland. Adelot still on the mound for the Trojans. And that pitch again inside on Boland for ball 2. 3-0. 3-0. We got the emphasized wave from our umpire, signaling that something was wrong. And that pitch in there for the first strike at the at-bat. And that pitch misses inside again. All 4 balls there inside on Boland as he draws the walk for the leadoff runner for the Greenbacks. And that'll bring up to the plate second baseman Creston Poor. So Boland down on first base. Poor at the plate. No outs here to start things off in the bottom of the 6th inning. And that pitch finds its way on the inside corner for strike 1. Had a little bit of movement to it there. I think Creston thought that was going to stay inside, but breaks a little bit. And Boland's going to get a jump at first there, and he'll be in there for a stand-up stolen base as that pitch didn't give Parks a chance on the throw as it came behind Creston Poor. So that'll move Bolin over to second base and be ball 2. Excuse me, ball 1. We'll see. And that one, boy, again, Creston really having to get out of the way. He is getting some darts thrown at him there in the batter's box. Bolin down at second base. And a good swing by Creston, poor, but just over the top in there for strike 2. And that one again inside. Adelot, when he misses, it's been inside so far this inning. Count goes full, 3-2. Bolin still down there on second base. And a hard hit ball right down the left field line, but just on the outside of the base path for a foul ball. Good cut there by Creston. Bolin will head back to second base as he was running on contact on that one. And that one in there for a called strike 3. Again, we saw Meese do it last inning and Creston this inning. You've got 2 strikes on you. Boy, those are hard pitches to leave it in the fate of the umpire. So Poor goes down looking for the first out of the inning. Bolin still at second base as that brings up, who do we got up there? Tay Wilson, who's made it to first both times, but they've been choppers kind of down that first base line. And Bolin's going to take third base. Parks is going to have a shot at him here. Might have got him on the slide off, but Bolin in there safe. Overslid the bag a little bit. Had Haslett kept that tag on, they might have had a shot at that umpire calling him out. So good stolen base by Bolin. And that pitch was in there for a strike on Wilson. And that pitch outside for ball 1. One and one the count on Wilson. Bolin on third base. And that pitch outside and fouled off by Wilson, out of play. So count goes to 1-2 on Wilson, as he'll look to protect that plate with a 2-strike count. Bolin looking for something to get him in from third base there, and that might be the pitch to do it, as that's a deep ball in the left center gap, and that'll get Bolin in easily as Wilson's on base for the third time this game successfully. That one, a hard hit ball over the shortstop into left center field. And Wilson able to pick up the RBI and move it to 8-0 for the Greenbacks. So Wilson over at first base, Chaz Tiefetiller at the plate for the Greenbacks. Last time Wilson was on base, we saw a lot of back and forth between him and Adelot. That pitch high and inside for ball 1. Wilson takes his lead on first. And he's going to go. But Tiefetiller is going to stand in there and take that one right on the hip. So no play to be made on the stolen base by Wilson, as the hit by pitch will advance him safely. And that'll put Tiefetiller on first base, Wilson on second base, as we bring up the left fielder, Noah Riley. So Noah Riley to the plate for the Greenbacks. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Runners on second and first base. And that pitch inside for ball 1. And you got Wilson on second, Tiefetiller on first. So good speed out there on the base paths for the Greenbacks. And that one fouled off the tip of the bat for Noah Riley for strike one. Wilson takes his lead on second base. Tifa Tiller matches it on first. And that pitch, again, another one we've seen this inning. That's probably the third pitch we've seen behind the Greenback batters. As Adelot struggling to find his strike zone. Count moves to 2-1. That pitch in there and a hard hit ball by Riley in the same spot we just saw Wilson hit it. Wilson will round third, and he should be in easily to score, and he is. A little bit of confusion on the throw in there as we see players collide. But Riley with a great stand-up double there as he gives his salute down there on second base, scores a run, moves Tifa Tiller to third base. And that is exactly what you want to get out of your 9-hole hitter as Noah Riley comes through with a hard hit ball to deep left center field. And we're going to have a trip to the mound from Parks as he's going to go out and talk to his pitcher. So the Greenbacks, as just mentioned up here in the booth, 1 run away from this 10 after 5 run rule as they lead it 9-0, 1 out to go. And at the top of the lineup, Max Uni at the plate for the Greenbacks. And that pitch swung on. It might get the gap as it's a shallow ball over first base. And that might do it as Tifa Tiller comes in to score the 10th run of the game. And that is the signal from the umpires. That will do it for the Greenbacks as they win this in 6. 10-0, your Greenbacks take the first game of this doubleheader. We will be back. Let me get a quick break here. Lori, is there some special senior night? So we might have an extended break here than what we normally have. So there'll be some honorings going on. Will they do them all on one field? Do you know? Will they bring? Okay, so they've already done the girls over there on that field. We'll do we'll honor the seniors here. Like I said, there's 2 of them here for the Greenbacks, Dawson Everett and Justice Tatro. So they will recognize those seniors. And we will keep things live here just so the stream isn't interrupted. But as far as commentary goes, I will take a break on that, and I will see you back for Game 2. Thanks for tuning in.
Greenback fans, we have one more person we need you to give a hearty round of applause for, and that is for our ever-dedicated, amazing photographer, Mr. Bill Ray.
So good on the fly.
All right, welcome back here to Game 2 at Smoky Ford Field here at Green Sports Complex as your Greenbacks are set to take on Hillsboro in Game 2 of this doubleheader action. The Greenbacks come away with the win in Game 1 after 6 innings. A run rule, finished it 10-0, and the Greenbacks will look to continue that momentum here in Game 2. Barrett Bolin on the mound for the Greenbacks as he comes into this game with a 4-2 record and a 2.333 ERA. Usually see that alternating pitching duo between Jaden Meese and himself. And Barrett on the count here, 2-1 to start things off as Parks, the leadoff hitter for Hillsboro, draws ball 3. And that pitch swung on, out of play. We'll bring the count to full. And a swing and strike 3 for Barrett Bolin to start things off this inning. So a good start for Barrett. Always good to pick up that leadoff out, and especially if you can do it in the form of a strikeout. And the 2-hole for the Hillsboro Trojans will be Bolt. He'll be on the mound today in this second game of the doubleheader. And that pitch in there on the outside corner of the plate for strike 1. And that pitch just misses outside for ball 1. As swung on a hard hit ball over the second baseman, Dawson Everett. And he's going to try for 2 there on that. Oh, and the ball's cut by Everett. Had it got through there, Uni might have been able to make the play. But Bolt will slide in there for the double to start things off here for the Trojans. They've got 1 out, runner on second as Hewslet comes to the plate, their third baseman. Bolin checks the runner on second. In there for ball 1. And that pitch, a good pitch with some movement on it as that started outside and found its way back in. Even the count up 1-1. As Bolt on second base there takes his lead. And swung on, fouled back out of play for the second strike of the at-bat. So after that first win in that first game of the doubleheader, that'll improve the Greenbacks' record to 13-4 on the season as that pitch breaks in there for strike 3. And Bolin picks up his second strikeout of the inning. Hillsboro falls to 0-17. According to Max Preps. Sometimes those stats on Max Preps aren't always loaded correctly, so I'm going off of that. That could not be the case. And runner goes on second. Tifa Tiller with a good throw down to third. And they're going to say he was not in time, but that could not have got any closer. As a great throw from Tifa Tiller and a tag there by Poor. But that is not the way the infield umpire saw that. So that'll move the runner to third base. Pitch was in there for strike one. Now Boland's working with 2 outs and a runner on third. That pitch popped up, should stay in play as Boland calls for it. And he'll make the final out of the inning. So the Greenbacks with no harm done there as the number 2 hitter Bolt gets on base with that double. Greenbacks will come to the plate here in the bottom of the first with Max Uni to lead things off. We'll be back after the break here at Smoky Ford Field. You're listening to Greenback Sports on Eastus Media.
You're listening to Greenback Sports, brought to you by Eastus Media.
And welcome back here to Smoky Ford Field. I'm Cody Eastus with Eastus Media. You're watching Greenback Baseball here on Greenback Sports on the Eastus Media YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to it yet, go ahead. That way you'll get notified each time we do go live with either Greenback Sports or some of the other productions we do as far as coaches shows or things like that. They'll all be on the Eastus Media YouTube channel. Greenbacks tied first time at the plate here. Held Hillsboro scoreless in the first inning. And Max Uni set to lead things off here. And he's ahead early in this count with a 3-0 count. So Max Uni at the plate. Batting .419 on the season. And those stats are coming into this game. They don't include any stats from the first half of this doubleheader. And Max will take ball strike 2. Is that evens the count? We were off there. So 2-2 the count on Uni. And that pitch hit well up the middle out of the stretch of number 2 number 2 Bolt. And Uni's going to be on safely at first base to lead things off for the Greenbacks. What you want from your leadoff hitter there. Doesn't matter how you get on, as long as you get on, whether it's a walk, a hit by pitch, a hit, an error. You want that leadoff batter on there. And that time Max Uni coming through, and now Dawson Everett comes to the plate. He'll be playing second base this game as Creston Poor will move over to third base on the defensive side of things. And Uni will attempt to take second here. Good throw, but Uni there in time. And he moves to second base and puts a runner in scoring position for Everett. That first pitch in there for a strike. we'll see how aggressive Uni will be over there at second base. That pitch right down the middle, but just a bit high in the zone, as that's called ball 1 on Dawson Everett. Uni gets his lead at second. Ball low. Takes the count to 2-1 on Everett. And that pitch swung on, fouled back into the fence for strike 2. As Voss holds Uni on second base there. Ball swung on, fouled back, out of play. Count remains 2-2 for Everett. Runner on second base here. Max Uni out there with the leadoff single. And that pitch high and outside pops out of the catcher's glove, and Uni's going to go for third, and he gets it safely. As that time Hazlitt at third base, not able to field the throw cleanly. So Uni advances to third base on the stolen base and moves him that much closer for Dawson Everett. And that pitch inside for ball 4. So runners at the corner now as Jaden Meese will come to the plate.
Coming up now, number 5, Jaden Meese.
Meese, who started that first game, threw 60 pitches. A great outing and another win picked up by Jaden Meese. He will move to right field this game. Meese will be out in right field this game with Bolin on the mound. And a pitch low and thrown down to third there as Everett takes second. But Uni not falling for the throw down to third. Sometimes that'll catch a runner on third if they're not paying attention. They see the catcher come up throwing, assume they're going to second. And Meese turns on that one, but fouled right to Coach Hill. Makes a great play as he gets a standing ovation. I don't know, well, there might have been somebody standing there. We're going to call it that. As he fields that nicely and right back to the pitcher. Count goes 1-1 on Meese. That ball hit hard and high into left field. Going to be a tough play for the left fielder, and he doesn't make it. Uni's going to come in from third. Everett will advance to third. So Meese on the fly ball. Probably an E7 there as that ball was playable, just not able to get under it there. So the runners advance. Meese picks up the double there on the air by the left fielder. That is Collins out there in left. And first run of the day comes in for the Greenbacks. Now at the plate, Justice Tatro for the Greenbacks. See if he can keep this hit streak going here as he's got Meese and Everett out there on the base path. And that pitch inside for ball 2. And that ball swung on, but it's going to go foul a chopper again to Coach Ron Hill, who's 2 for 2 on the nice plays there in the coaching box. A foul ball will take the count to 2-1 on Tatro. That pitch just misses inside for ball 3. Will hit right where the catcher was set up. I think Bolt wanted that one. And that pitch in the same spot again. Tatro going to draw the walk there, load the bases up as Barrett Bolin will come to the plate and see if he can really break things open for the Greenbacks here in this first inning. Scoreless in the first game against Hillsboro in that first inning, and then kind of gradually stretch that lead out, scoring 2 runs over the next 3 innings apiece. But the Greenbacks looking at a great opportunity here with bases loaded, 0 outs, and Barrett Bolin at the plate for the Greenbacks. He takes ball 1. That time a bit of a check swing by Barrett, but regardless, that was going to be a called strike. That one just a bit more inside from inside of the plate. What he was missing on earlier kind of was catching that inside corner. I think that one moved it in just enough. He's going to get that strike call there. And Barrett with a chopper up the middle. Shortstop's going to have to make a play on it with that high chopper. It's going to get to him slowly. And he makes the bad throw to first. And another run's going to score on that as the first baseman tries to chase it down, but not before 2 runs can score. Not a real solid ball hit by Barrett there, but it was high enough that the shortstop, by the time it got to him, had no chance to make that play and forced the throw. Bit of a one-hopper into first base there, and 2-run score for the Greenbacks. So runners at second and third now. Creston Poor at the plate for the Greenbacks. And he fouls that one back out of play. Greenbacks leading 3-0 in the bottom half of this first after that throwing error by the Hillsboro shortstop. It's going to be a Willis Dirks over there at the shortstop position this game. And that pitch in there, and again fouled back by Creston into the fence. That'll take the count 1-2. Greenbacks looking to get those runners in. They're out there on second, third. You got Bolin at second, Tatro at third, and a chopper to the second baseman. Should score 1. And a bit of a wild, not a wild throw, but just not enough on it as Creston hustles down there, able to leg that one out in there safely to first. That's going to score Tatro from third. Bolin moves to third base from second, and now runners on the corner for the DH, Tay Wilson, as he comes to the plate, trying to add on to this lead for the Greenbacks. Bottom of the first here in this second part of the doubleheader here at Smoky Ford Field today. Greenbacks out early, 4-0. Still yet to record an out this inning as Bolin goes for second, and the throw back to the pitcher doesn't get, Bolin on third there. Poor taking second. So that advances Poor to second base. Now Wilson, who we've seen with some short choppers down that first base line in that first game, see if he can get some contact on this one, put something out there in the outfield, score some runs. That pitch high and away for ball 2. And that pitch low for ball 3. Well, runners on second and third base. Wilson at the plate, DHing for the Greenbacks again this game. And he draws a 4-pitch walk to load things up for Chaz Tiefetiller, the catcher, coming up.
Now batting number 9, Chaz Tiefetiller.
So Hillsboro still to record their first out of this inning of this game, and the Greenbacks really looking to hop on them early. And Tifa Tiller puts one high. Going to be a tough play for the left fielder, though, as he comes in on it. And again, overruns that one, similar to the one in the first part of this inning. So runners are all going to advance safely on another error out there by Collins in left field, as he's just not able to get under that ball. Not a real windy day. We've seen some windy ones out here where those balls in the air are near impossible to catch. And that'll bring up Noah Riley, who hit the ball well in the first game, and he's looking at bases loaded as he tries to continue this streak by the Greenbacks, and they get completely through the lineup before their first out. That ball breaks in there for strike one. And again, catching the outside plate. Riley falls behind in the count, 0-2. Poor down there at third base. Like to get something in the air to get him home. And a swinging strike three. So Hillsboro records their first out of the inning on the ninth batter for the Greenbacks. And that's going to get us back to the top of the lineup as Max Uni heads to the plate for his second at bat of this inning. And a chopper to third base, but that's going to go foul. Max jumped on that inside pitch, had to almost step out of the box to get around on it, but able to do so. Can't keep it in play, and that'll draw strike one. You've got Poor at third base, Wilson at second, Tatro at first, and the top of the lineup, Max Uni at the plate. Takes ball one outside. Takes the count to 1-1. And that one hard hit up the middle, should score one, if not two, as Wilson comes around second base. Poor's already in safely. Wilson in safely, and the throw home is going to let Uni advance to second base. So the stand-up double by Max as he's able to score two RBI double there for Max Uni. And he keeps things going here for Dawson Everett coming to the plate for the Greenbacks. So what a different start to this game for the Greenbacks compared to the first game of this doubleheader where they were scoreless until the second inning. This game, not so much. They came out with the bats hot this game, kind of where they left off in that first game. And Everett swinging hard on that first pitch for strike one. One out here in the bottom of the first. Greenbacks have already put up 7 runs and are through their lineup. Everett, the number 2 batter, in the lineup for his second at bat this inning. That one swung on, and a short dribbler to the pitcher. It's going to make a tough play on it. And Everett looked like he was there in time, but not so. So Everett with the RBI sack there as Poor's able to score from third. Uni advances to third, and that stretches the lead to 8-0 for the Greenbacks with 2 outs here as Jaden Meese comes back to the plate for his second time at bat this inning. And Meese takes first pitch, strike one. And a bit of a breaking ball there. Swinging, foul tip back though. Strike 2 on Meese. So Bolt settling down a little bit on the mound for Hillsboro. And that pitch in the dirt for ball one. Got to be careful of a passed ball here. Uni looking to score on anything that gets by the catcher. This ball field is one of the nicest ones in the state, but it does have a deep backstop, and with that net, you don't get a bounce back off of it. That pitch breaks in there for a called strike 3 to end of the inning, but not before the Greenbacks can score 8 runs to start things off in the second half of this doubleheader. So we head to the top of the second. Greenbacks leading it 8-0 here at Smoky Ford Field at Green Sports Complex. We'll be back. Welcome back to the top half of the second inning here at Smoky Ford Field. The Greenbacks with 8 runs in the bottom half of that first inning to jump out on top. Hillsboro Trojans trying to mitigate the damage here as number 11 Collins comes to the plate. Barrett Bolin on the mound for the Greenbacks. Again, 4-2 record coming into this ball game. 2.33 ERA. That one chopped down to first, and an easy play for Tatro as he's able to just field that and step on the base. Doesn't get much easier than that. Ball hops right to you. Don't have to move at all, and Tatro makes it look easy.
Up next, number 7, Wharton.
That'll bring up the first baseman, Wharton, number 7, to the plate for the Trojans. 1 out here in the top of the second inning. And that pitch, a nice cutter there by Bolin as that ball starts on the outside of the plate and then works its way in. Tough pitch for a hitter. And that one stays on the outside for ball 1. That fastball of his just has a lot of movement to it. You don't know whether it's going to stay on the outside of the plate there or cut back at the end. And that one catches Wharton swinging for strike 2. And that one, an off-speed pitch that breaks in there for strike 3. For out number 2 of this inning.
Up now is number 8, Willis Dirks.
That will bring up number 8, the shortstop, Willis Dirks. As Bolin looks to get out of this inning with 3 up, 3 down. That pitch low for ball 1. Well, when he misses, it's not by much. He's either just catching the outside corner of the plate, that one a little bit low, but all his pitches are either on one edge of the plate. That one, again, low for ball 2. But not a lot of bad misses for Barrett Bolin when he's on the mound. As he steps back and regroups here. That one fouled back off the fence. Count goes to 2-2. Sorry, 2-1. And that pitch fouled right back off a catcher, Chaz Tiefatiller. He's going to take a minute. And give him a few seconds here, make sure he's okay before they restart play. That one, I couldn't tell if it went right off his chest guard, or sometimes you see those that catch him in the throat or on the shoulder, just one of those parts that's not quite as protected as the others. And it's a hard life being a catcher. Chaz doing a good job back there. That foul tip will take the count to 2-2. As Steve Fatiller looks like he's ready to go. And Bolin trying to get the curveball there. Starts inside, but doesn't quite break enough. Going to fill the count up at 3-2 here with 2 outs in the top of the second. That one fouled back. Willis Dirks doing a good job of fouling off those tough pitches. Like I said before, Bolin has a lot of movement with his velocity pitches and with his off-speed pitches. That ball again fouled back. That one a chopper to Dawson at second base and makes the easy play to Tatro at first base. So Bolin 3 up, 3 down there in the top half of the second inning. And the Greenbacks still lead at 8-0 as Hillsboro is scoreless after the first 2. We'll be back after the break.
You're listening to Greenback Sports, brought to you by Eastus Media.
All right, welcome back here to Smoky Ford Field at Green Sports Complex as your Greenbacks lead at 8-0 heading into the bottom half of this second inning. Justice Tatro leading things off for the Greenbacks after a strong first inning by the Greenbacks in the bottom half of that first, putting up 8 runs, seeing if they can build on it, keep the bats going here in the bottom of the second. Tatro with an even count there, 1-1. As the fabulous Bill Bergner steps into the booth. And that one's fouled back by Tatro. Count's going to stay at 1-2. You want a headset there, Bill? Are you sure? I thought maybe you could give us an update on the golf.
I can do that.
Yeah, I'm sure you can do that. All right, we're going to get old Bill Bergner mic'd up here. I'm sure you're used to hearing his voice on a microphone. He's going to give us an update on the golfing tournament, a bit of an odd format that the golfers are at this year, and Tatro goes down looking there on a called third strike. It's a 36-hole golf tournament, which I've never heard of in golf before. Can you hear me there now, Bill? Am I coming in? I'm coming in? Okay, we're going to mic you up here, Bill. You should be live. Give me some sound there, Bill.
All right, test.
Okay, we got
All
you. So Bill's going to give us an update on this golf tournament. He's been keeping track of it. We've got our men's golf team up, but they started off at Marion, is that right?
At 8 a.m. this morning.
8 a.m. this morning.
They left here at 5:15.
They start at Marion for a 36-hole high school golf tournament. I've never heard of that. Is that new this year, do you know?
Yeah, they kind of proposed it to Swank. He was just telling me about it. They did 18 holes at Marion at 8 o'clock, and then they moved to Hillsboro at 2 o'clock. So they're currently finishing up at Hillsboro right now.
So they're about through with their 36 holes. That is a long day of golf.
And let's see. Grant, after the first 18 holes, he was leading and he is currently in 6th place.
Okay, so and at
At a
10
plus
up, 10
10.
at plus 10. So he must have had a bit of a struggle because when you showed me earlier in between's game, he was at 4 over.
Yep.
So since then, in the last 30 minutes, maybe came upon a rough stretch of holes there to move him to 10 over, but still in 6th place
Currently
in a
in
36-hole
sixth
tournament.
place. And then we've got Tate is at 20 over, currently in 15th place.
Okay, so good showing there by
12
Tate
holes.
Myers. As that ball's hit to the third base, going to stay fair. Going to be a tough play for the third baseman as Bolin legs it out, but the throw's in time for out number 2 of the inning. Good play by the third baseman there, Hazlitt.
We got Matthew Garnett. He's at plus 21. It's the 17th place.
What are the implications of this tournament? Do you know? This isn't the regionals, is it?
No.
Okay.
Next week is league and then
That's
regional.
next
Okay,
week.
so we've got
Yeah.
league next week and then regionals from there. So this is just kind of an oddly placed 36-hole tournament for a
Yeah,
for a
they've never
schedule
done
of
it
a
before.
season.
This is
Yeah.
a whole day out of school for those kids.
I suppose that's something to look forward to, as that one's fouled back out of play.
That's what I looked forward to when I was there.
Right. That's what you know. When does the bus leave? That's all you want to know when you're in high school. When does the bus leave?
Finishing out, we've got Hudson Rector's at 24th place at plus 26. Mr. Sam Bergner's at 27th place at plus 28. And Easton Rector is at 31st place at plus 30.
And that ball's hit to the second baseman hard. Tries to make a diving play on it. Poor able to get in there safely for a single.
Where are we at as a team?
So as far as team standings, yeah, that's what we were just asking. Not sure we can total that up or if they have that on the scoreboard, but going to try to get you an update as far as Pratt's golf has been doing really well this season.
Yeah.
I've seen Grant and Tay both finishing in the top 20 at a lot of these tournaments they go to. Grant oftentimes in the top 3 or 5 with winning
I don't
these.
think it does it. I haven't seen that.
Not sure
Have you ever messed with this?
if the scoreboard that Bill's looking at is going to give us
No, it doesn't do a team. It just does
team. That's probably going to
individuals.
be totaled up afterwards, and we'll have to get an update on that when it's over. But so far for the day, the Greenbacks doing well in a first tournament of this style. So
Yep.
Poor's going to tip for the stolen base and should be upstanding if he keeps it. And that time, see if we get an interference call there. I think they are going to give him the base as he turns second, and the shortstop right in the way.
I was going to say, they don't. No, they don't.
Was
Up
it the
didn't see
umpire
no.
that he ran into?
No, he ran into the shortstop. Up didn't see it, but he must have called it.
Yeah. Creston coming around second there as that ball was well into the net. Tried to go ahead and take third base, but a little bit of collision and interference there gives him third base safely, so no play to be made. So that's going to move Creston over to third base with a 1-0 count here on Tay Wilson, the DH for the Greenbacks. And that one, a hard hit fly ball down the right field line,
Down.
and it's going to land foul. That's the best ball we've seen Tay hit tonight, though. And Creston Poor telling him, just straighten that out, buddy. Straighten that out. I'm assuming that's what he's saying. Ends up just a long strike for Tay.
Got 2 outs.
2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Greenbacks put up 8 runs in that first inning. Looking to build on that. Got to play at least 3 as the run rule doesn't come into play until the third inning. I believe it's 15 after 3, 10 after 5. And Wilson takes that breaking ball for strike 2. And Poor on third base. Hoping something to get him in here. And that pitch breaks, but doesn't break far enough back to get in the zone. So evens the count up at 2-2 for Wilson.
Have we seen an update on the girls?
Girls won the first game. I haven't heard one of the
Second
second
game,
game
yeah.
yet. The second game, I haven't got an update on that. So
see.
if you know anybody over there, you
Cycle,
can shoot
yeah.
a text to. Wilson, again, with a chopper to first that we've seen him do so many times tonight. And that one's going to be an easy play for the first baseman, Wharton, to end the inning. So the Greenbacks scoreless this inning, but they'll still take that 8-0 lead into the top of the third. We'll be back here on Eastus Media with Greenback Baseball after the break.
You're listening to Greenback Sports, brought to you by Eastus Media.
All right, welcome back here to Smoky Ford Field as the Greenbacks lead the Hillsboro Trojans 8-0, heading into the top of the third inning. Boland still on the mound for the Greenbacks, pitching well so far, as number 30 Duel, the DH for the Hillsboro Trojans, comes to the plate. That one outside for ball one. I always forget to reset my scoreboard, Bill. As you can see, I got a lot of buttons. I got a lot of things going on up here. You wanted to come check it out. I said, well, throw a headset on. You're joining me. Yeah, and while I got you up here, we were just talking, big vote coming up Tuesday for this bond issue. Not sure if everybody out there is familiar with it. You probably are so by now.
I've been bombarded by everything.
Been doing a lot of it, but really trying to make this happen for the community of Pratt and for the students and the district. So get out there and vote May 9th, Tuesday.
May 9th.
It comes up this week. So get out there and make your voice heard. As that pitch misses low and away for ball three. Count goes to 3-1. Reset that. There we go. Top of the third. Now we got it right. And that'll even take the count full. Boland's on 35 pitches. So efficient work by Boland so far this game on the mound. Same thing Meese last game. Meese ended with 60 pitches over 5 innings, 7 strikeouts, and that one popped. Will it stay in play?
It's in play.
Oh, and just around the on-deck circle is both Tifa Tiller and Tatro trying to make a play on it, but not able to. So take the count full at 3-2 as Duel looks to be the first base runner for the Hillsboro Trojans.
It's not a bad day out there.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's warmer out now. When I came to the ballpark at 3, there was an overcast, and it wasn't chilly, but it wasn't this warm. When I got out of the booth after game 1, I thought, man, it's hot out.
Oh, man.
Perfect day for baseball, though. No wind.
No wind.
We've had a lot of wind at some of these games, and that time a nice pitch by Boland on the outside corner.
Struck him out.
For the first out of the inning. So Boland doing well on the mound for the Greenbacks, and that will bring up the right fielder, Adelot. Saw him on the mound last game for the Trojans. Out in right field this game. And a swinging strike
right
one.
down the pipe.
I was saying earlier, Bill, that Barrett's ball has his ball has so much movement on it. When you sit up right here behind the plate, you can really see it.
Yep.
I don't know if it's his 4-seamer or 2-seamer, but he's got that. He'll have that pitch that'll start outside like that and just cut back onto the plate. Or if you're a hitter, you think that ball's staying outside, and it doesn't. It cuts back. And he doesn't miss the zone much when he does miss.
No, they're way behind it at that point.
Yeah, you can see that cut on that ball again right there. So Boland evens the counts up, 1-1. That time outside on Adelhart for 2-1 count. Could be 2-2.
I thought.
As the home plate umpire is going to.
He says here.
Not sure what the conversation is here, but kind of sounds like a warning, and the mannerisms by the first base coach is telling his dugout to settle down a bit.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything up here, but umpire must have heard something. So as everybody resets there a bit, counts 2-2, gives us a chance to reset ourselves.
We were right.
You were right. It's 2-2.
And again, that cutting ball, a swinging strike 3. And he doesn't have a chance to advance as Tifa Tiller puts the tag on him for the second out of the inning. Greenback should have a tough matchup next week as they'll face Haven.
Is that who they have?
Yeah, they've got Haven on Tuesday, I believe. No, I could be wrong on the date. Haven next week, and then we head into postseason play. So, tough game last week against Heston.
Ooh, there's that pitch right there.
Yeah, there's that cutter that starts inside and just finds its way to the plate for strike 1 there. Yeah, if you're a batter, that ball looks like it's coming right at your elbow or your shoulder, and it's able to break in there. And back-to-back, does it again, starts it a bit higher that time. And Parks not able to pick it up. Bowling ahead early, 0-2 in this count. And that a good miss outside. You got an 0-2 count. You don't want to throw anything down the middle.
No.
Throw something that's going to make that batter chase. That's tough to lay off when you've got 2 strikes on you there. Good job by Parks.
Right down the.
And that one down looked like it was cutting a little bit, but Parks able to fight it off and stay alive with a 1-2 count. As Bolin trying to pick up the 3rd out of this inning and move into the the bottom half of the 3rd. And that'll do it. The high fastball strikes Parks out, and Bolin gets out of the inning with no damage done. Greenbacks will take this 8-0 lead into the bottom of the 3rd. We'll be back here at Smoky Ford Field. All right, welcome back here to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. I'm Cody Eastis, joined by Bill Bergner in the booth now.
Hey.
For your Greenback Sports here on Eastis Media. Appreciate you tuning in. If you're watching and want to chat with us or ask us a question, drop a comment there, and we'll most likely see it and respond. Chaz Tifatil are going to be leading things off for the Greenbacks here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Scoreless in the 2nd inning, but put up 8 runs in that 1st inning. And the Greenbacks look to build on that and close this game out early.
Tifa Tiller, Riley, and Kraft.
I've got that score at 9-0. 8-0 is the correct score. I apologize. We head into the bottom of the 3rd. Tifa Tiller at the plate. And that ball hit right over the shortstop's head. Going to be a play by the left fielder, and that time he makes it for the 1st out of the inning. As Collins, we've seen him struggle early on in this game out there in left field, but able to make the play on the routine fly ball.
Up to bat next is going to be 21, Noah Riley.
So Tifa Tiller recording the 1st out of the inning for the Greenbacks, and that'll bring to the plate Noah Riley, the 9-hole hitter.
New pitcher, Cody.
And we do have a new pitcher this inning that we didn't catch. Looks like Hazlitt in the pitch for the Trojans.
Warming up.
So Greenbacks facing a little bit of a different look here. New pitcher, that time right back to him, able to make the play unless the foot was pulled, but it was not. The out signal from the first base umpire. So 2 quick outs for the Greenbacks with their 8-9 batters. And now we get back to the top of the lineup as Max Uni comes to the plate for the Greenbacks. Max having a good day. I was going to say good game, but good both games for him so far today. Couple good showings in this doubleheader, and that pitch wide for ball 1.
Wide and wild.
Wide and wild, yes, sir.
Look at the hustle.
I like that. You see Meese and didn't catch the number for
25.
25. Don't have him down there, but man, it was a race for that foul tip. I like the hustle. That time, again, that's going to give him another chance to race after one there as another one goes wide.
Oh, it's a race, it's a race, it's a race.
And here they go.
Oh!
And again, Pratt loses 0-2 on the race for the foul balls. That time it's Reese Clark on the get out for that one.
All right, we're 2-0 here.
2-0 here, the count. And that one, a slow hanging ball. Uni able to turn on it, but a hard hit ball right to shortstop.
Down.
And Willis Dirks able to make the play. So a quick 3 up, 3 down for the Greenbacks. And we'll head into the top of the 4th as they're scoreless again in the bottom of the third there. You're listening to Greenback Sports on Eastus Media.
You're listening to Greenback Sports, brought to you by Eastus Media.
And we're back here in the top of the fourth inning. I'm Cody Eastus with Bill Bergner in the booth as the Greenbacks lead this game 8-0. Hillsboro trying to get something going as Bolt, the pitcher, not the pitcher after that change last inning, was in for the first 2 innings. And then in came, who came in there for pitcher that last inning? 13, Hazlitt, I believe, came in that last inning, as we said. So the foul tip there by Bolt. Take the count to 0-1. And again, an off-speed breaking ball by Bolin in there for strike 2. Count goes 1-2.
Set him down.
Yeah, high fastball. Barrett Bolin, a good day on the mound so far through 3 innings.
Up next is going to be number 13, Hazlitt.
And that'll bring number 13, Hazlitt, who we just mentioned, came in to pitch that last inning for the Trojans. Up to bat is the number 3 hitter for Hillsboro.
So Barrett's at 51 pitches. How many do they average usually?
Meese was 60 that first game. I'd have to double check on the pitch counts, what the limits are. I think once you go so many, you've got to sit a certain amount of days.
60-ish.
There we've got the rules in front of you. So if you throw 61, so
okay,
Meese,
the rest days.
yeah, so Meese kept under that 61 count, throwing just 60. 46 to 60 is a 2-day rest. 61 to 75 requires 3 days rest. 76 to 105 requires 4 days rest. And where that really comes into play is the postseason play, when you've got tournament play, multiple games and multiple days. And a nice play there by the freshman Creston Poore at third base as he's able to get the out there. That's about as far as you can throw a ball from corner to corner on a baseball field, and Creston making it look easy there for the second out of the inning.
Nice toss.
That's where I was saying that Heston, those 3 pitchers from Heston, those arms we saw, when you get into postseason play, is going to be so valuable to be able to have 3 aces like that. It's really a chess match as a coach, trying to figure out how to use your pitchers and that pitch count.
You got to get that win. There's that pitch again.
He's got that cutter, and it's working for him tonight as number 21, France, the center fielder, comes to the plate for the Trojans. 2 outs, he goes down 0-1 in the count. And Bolin trying to catch that outside corner, but a bit low. And just misses the outside corner.
2 balls, 1 strike.
That pitch inside. France having to scoot out of the way a little bit there, take one on the top of the foot. And that pitch catches the outside corner and takes the count full. 3-2. I don't believe we've seen a walk from Bolin yet today. I don't think we've seen any base runners other than the first inning. It had a hard hit double out to center field. Other than that, it's been pretty clean work for Barrett Bolin on the mound. And that one's fouled back to the Greenback side.
And with the weekend, we got 3 days rest, so he can go past 60. So.
That pitch to Tatro again at first base. Takes a bit of a hop off the lip. And Dawson backing it up, but not able to make the play. Good hustle play by Everett there. Or I'm sorry, by Tifa Tiller, the catcher, to be in the right line there to stop that overthrow, keep the runner advancing.
Got to get down in front of that ball.
Yep, so France is going to reach on the error there for the second base runner of the game for the Trojans, and that'll bring up number 11, Collins. What's that? Second base runner?
Second base runner, yeah.
Yeah, I think they had a first inning.
Pratt's done pretty good.
Yeah, Pratt, yeah. And Bolin checks the runner over at first base. France takes his lead at first. Bolin looks over the shoulder. And that pitch low and outside for ball one. 2 outs in the inning. As a pitcher here, you don't need to worry too much about the runner with 2 outs. Focus on that batter. Runner on first base isn't going to do much damage to you. And that pitch in there for a strike.
Nice shot.
Bolin checks the runner over at first. And a good job by Tifa Tiller to keep that ball in front of him. Any passed ball, and you know, like I said before, with as deep as this net is, runners are going to be going. Count goes 1-2. And that pitch breaks in there. Knew it before the signal. Yeah, worry about the batter, and that's what Bolin does as he gets out of that inning. 1 runner left on base for the Trojans. Greenbacks will come up to the plate in the bottom half of the third inning here. Fourth inning, excuse me. Bottom half of the fourth. You're watching Greenback Baseball on Eastus Media. We'll be back.
You're listening to Greenback Sports, brought to you by Eastus Media.
And we're back here at Smoky Ford Field here at Green Sports Complex as your Greenbacks lead the Hillsboro Trojans 8-0 in the bottom half of the fourth inning, as it looks like who's that coming to play? Dawson Everett, senior Dawson Everett at the plate for the Greenbacks. Just got an update from Dave Swank on the softball side of things over there. The Greenbacks are trailing 4-2 in the bottom of the sixth inning, so the Greenbacks need the bats to come alive. And as I say that, Dawson Everett with a hard hit ball deep into center field. That's going to move him around as he gets an easy 2, and he's going to go for 3 as he slides in there for a triple to lead things off for the Greenbacks here in the bottom half of the fourth. Dawson Everett on senior night says, salute.
Nice start of the fourth inning.
Up now is number 5, Jaden Meese.
And that'll bring up Jaden Meese. See if he can tack on to this hot start for the Greenbacks in the bottom half of the fourth.
A center fielder was playing a little too shallow.
He was. I've seen that. Well, they haven't hit much. They haven't gotten beat deep a whole lot today, so I can't say I blame them, but this could be another one here as Meese ropes that one into center.
Oh, he's got
but
it.
right to him. But the pinch runner came in for Everett, able to score there as Roscoe, pinch running for Everett, in there for the easy stand-up score. Takes the lead to 9-0 for the Greenbacks on the sacrifice fly from Jaden Meese. That'll bring up Justice Tatro to the plate for the Greenbacks. And that's another hard hit ball as Justice is going to round first and see if he can stretch that into a double.
Right in the hole.
And he does as it's cut off. No play will be made at second, so a stand-up double. And we should get that salute coming soon from Tatro. Let's see if he... Oh, usually we get it every time. So Tatro able to work off of that hard hit ball by Everett. And again, the Greenbacks, their bats have come alive.
Barrett.
As Barrett Bolin ropes one into left field over the shortstop's head, puts runners at the corners for the Greenbacks. And Creston Poor coming to the plate for the Greenbacks. He's had a good night so far.
Only one out.
See if he can add to it as the Greenbacks lead this ball game 9-0. One out here in the bottom of the fourth inning is Jaden Meese with that deep sacrifice fly earlier in this inning. Runners at the corners, most likely going to see Barrett take second base with it open and a runner on third. And Poor hops that one down third base, out of play.
Yeah.
So Tatro on third base. Barrett Bolin on first base. Creston Poor at the plate. 0-1 count. And that one a floater that doesn't break into the strike zone for ball one. Bolin holding at first base over there. Thought we might see a steal attempt. A lot of times that runner on third kind of gives you that safe base, and there he goes. And no throw down, and Bolin will get to second safely. So runners on second and
Two
third.
balls, one strike.
2-1 the count on Poor. Bolin at second, Tatro at third. And the Greenback bats really came alive to start this inning off.
Sure have.
Sometimes that's contagious. You see a couple hits, and all of a sudden they just keep coming.
Get your confidence up.
Yeah. Yeah, they say that in sports. Momentum is contagious. And that time, Poor's got to duck and drop the bat to get it out of the way of that one, as ball four is going to give him the base and load the bases for designated hitter Tay Wilson coming to the plate. Seen a lot of choppers from Tay down that first base line. Saw one deep fly ball that he hit solid. Other than that, everything's been a bit off the, kind of topped it. See if he can get a hold of one here and score some runners.
He's a lefty.
He laid down a nice bunt in that first game as well. That time a good cut by Tay, but a swing and a miss for strike one.
Outside.
And that pitch tried to come in there with the breaking ball, but not enough break to it and started way too far outside. Easy take for Tay. 1-1 the count. And Tay a swinging strike two. He's wanting to get a hold of one.
Yep.
You can see it in his swings.
He was reaching for that
Yeah,
one.
count moves to 1-2.
Got bases loaded.
Bases loaded always makes you swing harder. I don't know what it is. There's something about it.
Right there.
And that one, a hanging curveball. Tay pops it up, though. Should be a play made by the shortstop.
The short one. No sacrifice.
And no one's going to be able to advance on that short fly ball. So Wilson with the high flyer to the shortstop for the second out of the inning. Bases will stay loaded. 2 outs as Chaz Tiefetiller comes to the plate.
Is that the discretion of the umpire for an infield fly rule?
You know, as much as I've watched baseball, I
there's
still
2 outs,
couldn't
so it
tell you
wouldn't matter.
how the
Yeah.
infield fly
No,
works.
there's one out then.
And
think it was
Tifa Tiller with one to third base. If it's fielded
Get
cleanly,
there,
should
get
have
there.
a play.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not. Off the glove of the second baseman. He's going to have to scramble for it as a couple runners come in. So the Greenbacks escape one there on the error by the third baseman. Actually, error probably on the second baseman there as the throw was clean, but came off the glove of the second baseman. Looked like it might have caught him in the face there. Might want to check and make sure he's all right. But 2 runs score for the Greenbacks. Takes the lead 11-0 and puts runners at the corners for the Greenbacks.
Reese Clark comes in for pinch running.
And so Reese Clark in at first base for Chaz Tifa Tiller, and the 9-hole hitter, Noah Riley, at the plate. So Greenbacks 4 runs away from that 15 after 3 run rule limit.
You jinxed it, I bet.
I probably did. It's kind of like the no-hit jinx. You know, you don't say it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
that
say
one's
it.
on me. That one's on me, Coach Hill. I'll take that one. So Clark at first base, pinch running for Tifa Tiller.
You got to be able to
Poor at
advance
third
there.
base. And that one catches the outside corner on the off-speed pitch for strike 2 as the count goes 0-2 on Noah Riley. Now you got to protect if you're a batter. And a swinging strike 3 will end the inning for the Greenbacks, but not before they can put up 3 runs against the Hillsboro Trojans and take an 11-0 lead into the top of the 5th inning. We'll be back here on Eastus Media.
You're listening to Greenback Sports, brought to you by Eastus Media.
All right, welcome back here to Smoky Ford Field at Green Sports Complex. You're watching Greenback Baseball on Eastus Media. Greenbacks leading 11-0.
Got a new pitcher.
Yep, got a new pitcher as Dawson Everett is in for the Greenbacks to pitch, who I spoke earlier in that first game of how impressive of a game he came in that second Heston game. Came in the 3rd inning. That game went to 11 innings. He pitched 8 innings and picked up the win there for the Greenbacks after throwing 90 pitches. So invaluable innings there from Dawson Everett in that game against Heston. Oh, 0-2 the count as Wharton is at the plate for the Trojans, and he goes down swinging for the first out of the inning.
Next up is number 8, Willis Dirks.
That'll bring up the shortstop, number 8, Willis Dirks, to the plate for the Trojans. Yeah, that's right. As Lori just mentioned here, we are in the top half of the 5th inning with the 11-run lead. If we get out of this run and maintain that 10-run lead, it will be a ball game. So the Greenbacks making quick work of this one. Haven't got an update on that softball game across the way. Last we heard it was 4-2 in the bottom of the sixth as that breaking ball finds its way in there for strike one.
Yep, no update yet from Swank.
No update on – we did have an update on golf that Bill's working on here.
Yep.
That tournament is finished, so we'll give you an update on that here shortly. As that one's hit shallow left field, and the play is made. Out there by Noah Riley.
Next up is number 3.
For the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the DH, number 30, Duel, as the Trojans are 1 out away from this ball game being over. And that's a swinging strike one. That ball high and out of play will be strike two. As Everett is 1 strike away from ending this ball game. And a swinging strike 3 hits the dirt. Tifa Tiller picks it up for out number 3. And that'll do it for the Greenbacks here as they make quick work of the Hillsboro Trojans in this second game of the doubleheader. They finish it 11-0 in the top half of the 5th inning. So the Greenbacks pick up 2 wins, improve their record to 14-4. They will face Haven next week. Hillsboro moves to Lions next week. And a great day for the Greenbacks. Great weather. We'd like to get an update on that softball game. We'll stick around here a bit. We've got an update on golf. So we'll update that. But thanks for tuning in. If you were out there watching, we appreciate it.
Real quick, we got Grant.
Let's get
in 5th place. Number 5 at plus 13. Tate entered at 20th place at plus 27. Easton Rector came back towards the end. Had a great game and ended up plus 30.
There, we got to get us on camera, Bill, if you're going to get an update. There we go. There we go. Okay. There we go. Now we got me and Bergner in the booth here. Let's get that update.
Hudson Rector ended up at 24th place at plus 31, and Sam Bergner ended up at 26th place at plus 31. So we haven't got the team.
Haven't got team updates to see where that placed the Greenbacks as a team. Still waiting to hear on the softball team across the way, see if they came back from that 2-4 deficit in the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll stick around just a bit. See if we can give you an update on that.
I'll see if he can send me an update here.
But other than that, in the booth, Bill Bergner, I'm Cody Eustis.
Thanks for
joining me. Thanks for watching. It was fun. We'll do it again next time, or we're maybe doing softball again, but we'll see. We'll take a quick break. We'll stay on air in case we get an update. We can bring it back to you, but we'll be back with the sign-off. Thanks for tuning in.
You're listening to Greenback Sports, brought to you by Eastis Media.
All right, we're back here with an update on that softball game. If you're still tuning in, again, a wrap up. Pratt High Greenback baseball wins it. Game 1, 10-0, and they pick up Game 2, a win, 11-0. Both run rules. Softball side of things, the girls ended up splitting. They did win that first game. Didn't have the score on that one. Picked up the win in the first one, but dropped the second one to Hillsboro.
3-4.
3-4 was the final score there. We heard they trailed 2-4 in the bottom of the sixth, so looked like able to tack on one more run, but didn't see how it finished. So everybody watching, we appreciate it. Tune in next time. Again, follow the YouTube channel. That way when we do go live or we've got events, you'll get a notification letting you know that we're live. That's the best way to do it. And thanks for tuning in. This is Cody Eastis, Bill Bergner, Eastis Media, Greenback Sports. Until next time. Thanks, guys.